Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a full face of new products at Sephora and Ulta. And I wanted to start with this Ilia, the base face milk. This is something that they sent to me and it's a very lightweight moisturizer basically. It's kind of like an essence moisturizer combination. And because it is meant to be lightweight, this was something that I really wanted to try now that the spring is not here, obviously. I think it just snowed on the East Coast and it's still very chilly here. Sorry, I have a fuzzy on my lip. It's still very chilly here in the mornings and in the evenings here in Vegas. However, like I mentioned in my video that I posted on Thursday, I'm thinking about spring and I'm starting to think about like skincare, and I really want to audition different kinds of skincare. I love that Aesop BCCC gel. And so I was kind of reminded of this Ilia when I was digging through some of my like PR stuff. I was like, oh, let me try this, because this was something I kind of set aside mentally for the spring summertime. And I thought this could be a really interesting primer. So that's why I thought I would put this on before putting on some makeup. So it's the Base Face Milk. It's a lightweight moisturizer, barrier renewal complex. And you guys know that I have kind of a busted barrier. I do suffer from eczema and things like that on occasion. So I just shook it up a little bit. It does have like a dropper top. Oh, yeah, it is very, very liquidy. So I'm just gonna kind of dab some out into the palm of my hand. I'm not gonna hold this up because it's just gonna run everywhere, but it looks just like it does in the bottle. And I'm just going to get it on my skin before it runs down my hands here and all over my sweater. I'm going to kind of put the excess of my arms here because I dripped out way too much. So let me just do that. It does feel really nice. So while I am massaging it into my skin, it does say on the box, this is a hydrating base layer that supports healthy skin. The silky milk sinks in on contact. It is definitely very silky, for sure, and I do feel like it is getting absorbed. Flooding skin with lightweight moisture designed to layer seamlessly with complexion products. It's clinically proven to smooth texture, reduce redness, and boost skin's barrier over time. After cleansing, gently press a quarter-sized amount into skin. Can be used morning and night alone or before makeup. So I like the idea of using this as kind of a primer because I do have drier skin, and well, I was thinking it may not be enough, but it's very moisturizing. It feels really, really nice on the skin. I like this. This is definitely going to be great in the warmer months, especially when you start layering a lot of SPF on. This is nice. Oh, my skin looks really smooth. Okay. All right, so that's the Ilia Base Face Milk. For foundation, Makeup Forever sent me their HD Skin Hydra Glow. They sent me 2 shades. You can see one is lighter and cooler. This one looks a little bit deeper and warmer. I think I'm gonna go for the lighter, cooler one, which is 1R02. The slightly warmer one is 1N14. I feel like I'm kind of between these two. Isn't that funny? So it does have a pump top. Very nice. And I like that this is a glowy foundation. I'm more of a glowy base person versus a matte base person. This has a very thin texture. It's kind of running down my fingers there. And let's just put some there. Which one did I put on? This is the 1R02. Yeah, this is the one that's cooler and a little bit lighter. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I think this one works. Okay. Ooh, this is like working really nicely on top of that Ilia. Very nice. I think this foundation has just the slightest bit of fragrance. It actually smells like soap. Like super duper clean. Yeah, I think that's the right shade. All right, I'm gonna pump out a little bit more and use a brush to apply to the rest of my face. All right, I've got this Dior number 12 foundation brush. I have not used this in a very, very long time, but most of the brushes that I use consistently are dirty. So nice opportunity to use some other brushes. All right, I'm just going to kind of dab all over. And while I'm doing this, let me just read off of the Sephora site. This is a skin boosting formula inspired by skincare sheet masks and delivers 24-hour hydration. I love the sound of that. I have very dry skin. It is ideal for dry, mature, and sensitive skin. That is me in a nutshell. And also visibly improves skin's texture and radiance in as little as 4 weeks of use. The feather-light texture melts into skin and is buildable for added coverage. It is very, very lightweight, and I don't feel like the coverage is super heavy. I would call it a light medium. It is on the glowier side for sure. I'm sure you guys can see kind of coming off the center of my face there. I have really been impressed with Makeup Forever base products lately, starting with that HD Skin face palette that I always use. That cream, it's like a cream sculpting and highlighting palette. Is so good. So, so good. I think I picked the right shade. So if you use me as a shade reference, I really like this 1R02. Yeah, it's really nice because sometimes I feel like shades that, you know, quote unquote work for me actually end up looking really chalky, like almost like they're just a little, there's just too much white in there. There's like a nice like soft tint to it. Really pretty. How many shades in total are there? Let me see. Wow, there are 32 shades, and then 6 of the shades come in mini sizes. How awesome. It is $47, and the bottle, I'm assuming it's like a 1 ounce bottle. What does it say? Yes, 1 ounce. So very typical size, and so far, so good. I think it looks really beautiful. So that's the Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydro Glow. Really, really lovely. Next is a product that I've really been wanting to try. I've been, you know, kind of seeing it all over social media. This is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. They sent me a bunch of shades. I'm gonna try 1N1 first. Let me just pull out 1C1. Yeah, 1C1 looks, that is the kind of color that I think just ends up looking too chalky on my skin. I'll put that one away. 0W1. This one I think is way too light. Okay, put that one away. So I'm gonna go with 1N1. And this comes in 30 shades. It is $33 retail, and let's see, coverage is medium, finish is natural, weightless, serum infused, brightens, hydrates, smooths, medium coverage, up to 16 hours of wear time, and a natural finish. All right, let's give this a shot. It's got a pretty, you know, typical doe foot applicator. It's kind of angled back, and I'm just gonna add a little bit to those darker areas. I'm gonna start with my finger and just press it in and out. So far, I feel like I love the texture. Very weightless, really easy to blend in. It was very, very serum-like, but it has that like grippiness that you want concealer to have, so that it doesn't migrate, it doesn't, you know, sink into fine lines, it doesn't like cake up or whatever. It has like a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of grip there, which is nice. And again, I think I lucked out with the shade. I think I picked right. Doesn't happen all the time, so that's awesome. Well, it's really pretty. Let me try this maybe a little bit around my nose. I think the Makeup Forever foundation did a really good job, so I don't feel like I need to put this anywhere else, but let's just see, maybe on these sunspots here. Let's do that. Yeah, I would say the coverage is medium. I'd say that's an accurate description. It's very similar, I want to say, to the Surratt Dewdrop Concealer in terms of coverage. Maybe a little bit less than the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Again, great for the impending spring, summertime. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I can see why this is getting quite a bit of buzz. I'm loving this foundation, I gotta say. It really looks smooth, and I like the glow that it's giving me. It's not just straight up shine. It's like a satin. Like a satin shine. It's really pretty. All right, what do we have in terms of cheeks, powder? I don't have any powder. I'm just gonna go without. Do I have any bronzer or anything like that? I do. So I love how you guys are watching me work this out. Okay, so Smashbox sent me these Halo palettes, and there's actually 4 shades. One I already set aside. It's a little bit too deep for me. It's the one that on the cover, it's like purpley, so it's definitely for a deeper skin tone. So I pulled these 3 just to see, you know, what I kind of felt like using today. And these palettes, these are face palettes, so they have a bronzer, blush, and highlight in there. So this one is pink saturation. This one is coral saturation. This bronzer looks deeper than the pink one. And then this one is Back to Cali, which really reminds me of their, was that what it's called? The Back to Cali face palette? Oh my gosh, I love that Smashbox product. It was that 6-pan face palette, and they came out with like a second version of it, and I loved it. Those shades were so good. So I'm kind of leaning towards using this one because the shade colors are very, very similar to what I remember is in that palette. Is that palette still around? I hope they didn't discontinue it because that was such a great one. And I think it was called Back to Cali. You guys know what I'm talking about. It had the 6 pans. Anyway, I think I'm leaning towards using this one. So these are available at Ulta, not at Sephora. As always, I'll link to everything down below in my description box if you're interested. But let's dig in here. So I'm gonna go into this bronzer contour. This one is called Beach Day, and it's a contour powder. And I'm gonna use my Sonia G Fan Large brush, and I have to kind of maneuver the brush in here because this pan is a little bit small. And I think you guys know this about me. I am such a sucker for face palettes. I don't know why. I love it. I love a highlight blush bronze combo. I don't know why it makes me so happy to see them. Maybe because it reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. Maybe because I think it's great for travel. Maybe I just love palettes and how, you know, artistic they look. I don't know what it is. I think I'm kind of leaning towards the Neapolitan ice cream, but I just love them. I love them so much. Okay, I think I have enough product on here. And just FYI, all these products are like a pressed powder. They're not like a baked gel powder. There it is, and without. I like it. That's a great tone for my skin tone. Oh, I like that. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Ooh, I love it. All right. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna swatch all 4 of the products in here. I realize I should have done that. So there are the 4 shades in here. Gosh, that highlight is so pretty. There's a lot of pinky, peachy goodness in there. And then the 2 blushes, which are really pretty. There's like rose, but like a hint of warmth. I have some other products that I want to play around with, so I don't think I'm going to use these other products in this palette. I kind of want to jump to a different blush. So anyway, the contour powder looks really, really beautiful. And I love this Back to Cali version of this Halo palette. Gorgeous. So the blushes that I wanted to play with are the Bosma Beauty cream blushes. And I love, love, love their cream stick foundation. I love it so much. So I was really, really excited to see these cream blushes. So I'm gonna open them all up. And I learned this the hard way when I was doing a PR unboxing when I received these, but this is not a typical compact. This actually slides up. And I had my finger just in the wrong place, and I dug this little, I made that little divot basically. But anyway, this is peach. And then we also have fuchsia. Here is, wow. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's the right look for me today, but that is incredible. And then last but not least, I have mauve. So they sent me 3 shades, but I believe there's more available on the site. Actually, let me look that up right now. Yeah, I see actually 6 shades, and 2 of them look like they're either sold out or not available yet. So these are not all of them. There's even more on the site. So this shade is mauve. Ooh, I like this one. I think for me today, it's either gonna be mauve or peach. What do you guys think? I think I'm gonna try the peach because, well, no, I'm gonna try the mauve. So the eyeshadow palette that I wanted to try today is the new NARS, which one is this? The Afterglow Irresistible palette. And these are the shades in there. So they're kind of on the warm side. We'll have to open it up and see, but they look kind of pinky. So let's use this mauve color. So let's do some swatches first. Here is mauve. I love, love, love the feeling of this cream product. It's really, really good. Here is peach. And if you guys don't know the background behind Bosma Beauty, definitely look her up. The founder was a victim, unfortunately, of like skin burns when she was very, very young. So she's kind of spent her entire life, you know, figuring, like playing with makeup and figuring out how to cover it up the best way possible. And her first release, that stick foundation, is so good because it's really high coverage, but it's so weightless. It's so weightless. It's so beautiful. It is such a wonderful, wonderful formulation. And I'm getting the feeling that these cream blushes are no different because they feel really, really nice in the pan. There's Fuchsia. Oh, that's such a fun shade. I can't wait to play with that. All right, so we decided on mauve, right? That we're gonna start with this one today. So I think what I'm gonna do is use my finger for one cheek and then maybe I'll use a brush for the other one. But just swirling it around, picking up some product here, and I'm just going to dab. I wonder if I picked up too much. Let's see, we'll start here. Yes. Okay, this formula is wonderful because look how quickly that blended out. It's very, very smooth feeling. It's really well pigmented, not too much, not too little, and it sets down. So it's not too emollient and, you know, it's not gonna like move around, disappear, eat up other product, things like that. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Very nice, look at that. Wow, that just blended out like a dream. All right, well that was with my finger. God, that worked out so well. I don't know if I want to use a brush, but we should try. I've got my Sonia G mini base brush. Just gonna dab it in here and then press. Oh, okay, even better. I just like using brushes. And I am applying this over that powder contour. I mean, not completely over, but you know, it is intersecting a little bit and it's fine. It's not doing anything weird. There, ooh. Oh, I love it. I love it, and I just love the packaging. It's so cool. Okay, so those are the Bosma Beauty cream blushes. Let's move on to a highlight. So I do have this Natasha Denona Berry Pop Cheek Trio, and I wanted to use this whole palette, but I had all these other things that I wanted to try. So anyway, we're left with this Dream Glow product. But I was really, I don't know, I was just really surprised at the shade of this Tinted Glow cream base, this guy in the middle, and then this is the cream blush. Because this is a Berry Pop collection, I just assumed this was going to be a little bit more red toned versus like orange toned. But let's do some swatches. So this Tinted Glow cream base. Oh, wow, it appears so much more pink than it does in the pan, doesn't it? Sorry, I don't want to blind you. That's so interesting. Okay, all right. This is why swatches are important. And then let me swatch this cream blush. Oh, this is such an interesting formula, this cream blush, because it almost kind of feels like a powder, but it is most definitely not. Wowza. Okay, those are the two blushes. I wonder if I should apply a little bit of this cream blush just on the apples of my cheeks. Maybe I'll do that. I think I'll just use this same brush. It's so interesting because it's a cream blush, but it doesn't feel like a cream product. So I feel like, should I try a different brush? Well, let's start with this one. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna press it in here. It's very pigmented, so I would be careful. Yeah, I would definitely be careful. I'm gonna blend out with my finger here. It's like such a beautiful raspberry tone. Wow, that is so pigmented. Okay, I ended up with much pinker cheeks than I was planning, but that does give you a good idea of this Berry Pop Cheek Trio from Natasha Denona. Anyway, let's go into the Dream Glow, which was my initial purpose for this palette. And I've got my Wang F1 brush. This one I have not gotten a chance to use, and I love it. Look how it's kind of angled. Isn't that so cool? But it's wider this way. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna dip into Dream Glow. I don't think I did a swatch of this, did I? Let me do a swatch. Wowza. That's super duper wet. You know, and I feel like the warmer the temperature, the brighter the highlight I like. So come summertime, I tend to go for these really kind of like wet looking highlights. So gorgeous. It looks like it's developing like hard pan with me just running my finger over there, but it could just be this particular formula because it feels very unique too, just like this cream blush. Different from this, but like unique like that one. I think I picked up way too much product. Let's see. Oh, so wet. So wet looking. Ooh, it's beautiful. Wow, that is some stunning highlight. If you like a bright highlight. Gorgeous. Okay. Very smooth, very wet looking. It's a very like glass-like highlight. All right, so that's the Natasha Denona Berry Pop Cheek Trio. I also have some new brow products. So Benefit sent me their Precisely My Brow Wax in the shade 4.5. I'm pretty sure this is new. I'm actually going to look it up because I'm not positive. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to Benefit and their brow products, I cannot keep track. I can't keep track. So let me do a quick search here. Yes, at least on Ulta, it says it is new. And yes, I do have shade 4.5. Wow, they have a lot of shades. Holy smokes, they have 12 different brow shades. I don't think I've seen that many. Anyway, when it comes to brow products, I gotta say, Benefit, really good. Really, really good. So this is what the packaging looks like. And the wand is pretty cool. It's not symmetric. It has like a little up-down situation with the spoolie. So here is 4.5. That's a really good shade. Really good shade for me. Can I just say, I feel like half of the battle for brow products, maybe even mascaras, is how much product ends up on the spoolie when you take it out. I feel like as long as there's not a ton, like, you know, just like product hanging off of the spoolie or nothing at all, sometimes I feel like the scrape off process is like a little aggressive. There's like the perfect amount. I feel like you're halfway there to having a great product. You know what I mean? Because you just are putting on the right amount, and Benefit does a great job. I don't feel like I have to scrape off the spoolie, but I also don't feel like I have to go in 1,000 times and like get more product out. I really love their wax products. They're almost like a pomade, just a very, very soft hold. You know, nothing too crazy, not like a full-on gel. So good. So good. So that's the Precisely My Brow Wax from Benefit. Again, shade 4.5 if you use me as a shade reference. Okay, let's move on to this NARS eyeshadow palette. So this one is the Afterglow Irresistible. Now I do feel like I'm catching up with new releases since my trip. I love this checkerboard cover. I've had checkerboard on my mind ever since falling in love with Pharrell's Damouflage collection for Louis Vuitton. Every time I see checkerboard now, I'm like, ooh, I love that. Okay, so this has, let's see, 12 shades, I believe. Typical NARS layout. And, you know, to be frank, I feel like this is a palette I probably have seen from NARS before. This reminds me of one, I'll never remember the name, but it came out probably 5 years ago. And it was when, you know, the warm and the pinks and those eyeshadow palettes were really, really hot. Anyway, it reminds me of that one. Still very pretty, and I do love the NARS eyeshadows. I think they perform really nicely. But let me go ahead and do some swatches of these. I'm gonna go up and down and then left to right. So first we have Adoration, Magnetism, Mood Swing, Amorous, High Stakes, Pure Bliss, Blaze, Take a Shot, Midnight, Hot Rod, Frisky, Nitro. These are really, really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna start with this shade over here, which is Magnetism. I've got my BK Beauty 202 brush. It's a travel size, but it's the 202 brush. And just gonna start on the outer corner. See how deep this shade looks on my skin tone. Work that in. Yeah, it's like a pinky terracotta shade. It's very pretty, but very, very warm. Blend it out like a dream. Typical NARS, typical NARS shadow. I'm gonna use one of Angie's Singe Beauty brushes. This is brush number E04. It's like a flat shader. I'm gonna go into this shade, which is High Stakes. This one right here. And just gonna put that all over the lid. These shades are definitely warmer than they appear in the pan, because this shade in the pan almost looks like it could be like a mauve, but on my eyelid it looks like it's copper. This is one of my favorite Singe Beauty brushes, by the way, this E04. It's a really great flat shader. Blends like really effectively. And then I'm going to take this Esom V31 brush. It's like a really big pencil brush or a really small blender brush. I'm going to go into this shade up here, which is Adoration. And I'm just going to put this in my inner corner. I just want to lighten this up a little bit. Yeah, just add a little bit of that white gold in there. And then I'm gonna wipe that off. Then I'm gonna go into this shade all the way down here, which is Nitro. And I'm gonna kind of deepen up my outer corner. I was thinking about using this shade, but I feel like this would just be a little bit too dramatic. So I thought this Nitro would be effective enough, which I think it is. It's deepening up this corner. I mean, it's a completely different shade because it's a sparkly shade versus a matte shade, but I think it's doing the job. Well, this is, no question about it, a very warm palette, which I have to say I have been kind of moving away from more and more, but it's nice. Every once in a while, it's nice to kind of go back to this. Let me use that 202 BK Beauty brush. I'm just gonna wipe it off and I'm just gonna run it over the top here, kind of soften things up a little. Yeah, these shadows perform great. I do love NARS shadows. They're just like rock steady, you know, like no surprises. They apply the way you think they would. They blend out beautifully. Okay, so that's the NARS Afterglow Irresistible palette. I don't have a new eyeliner or a new mascara. I do actually have a new mascara, but it's not available at Sephora or Ulta. And I feel like I'd be cheating. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure it's not. No, it's not. But I do have some mascaras from Swede, which is a brand that I was introduced to by Andrea Ali here on YouTube. She came out with like this curated collection and a Swede mascara was in there. And actually I have it right here. And I really, really loved it. Anyway, Swede sent me their Cloud Mascara in dark brown and their Pro Lash Lift Mascara in dark brown, which is the one that I have. I have the Pro Lash Lift Mascara in black. I really like that one. But I think what I will do is try this Cloud Mascara in dark brown since this is the formula that I haven't tried. So apologies, this is not available at Sephora or Ulta. So sorry, but I will try and find it online for you. I know this is big in Europe and I believe they're a Swedish brand. Oh, cute. Look at this packaging with the little clouds on it. Oh my God, I love that. That's so nice. I like this wand. Plastic bristle wand. Ooh, it's super lengthening. Wow. And I feel like it's keeping my curl. Gosh, have you ever seen my lashes look that long? Never. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. My lashes look really, really long. Incredible. Okay, so that is the Cloud Mascara in dark brown. Excellent. All right. Now for lips. The lips that I wanted to try is the Natasha Denona Berry Pop lips. I'm going to try it on for you guys so you guys can see what the shade looks like. Not that we haven't seen it all over all over social media already, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to start with the Berry Pop Lip Crayon. And I do love the Natasha Denona lip liner formula, as you guys know. Okay, there is the lip liner. It's actually a really pretty berry color. It doesn't seem quite as like in your face as I thought it was going to be. Here is the Berry Pop lipstick. I'll do a swatch of this. Very pretty. And I do love the Natasha Denona lipstick formula as well. Really, really moisturizing. Wow, that is a statement. God, that's a really, really pretty color. You know, I thought, you know, I see the word berry and I think it's gonna just be this real kind of like purpley based red. But this actually has almost like a muted brown undertone versus purple. Oh my gosh, this is such an interesting shade, isn't it? It's very, very different from a lot of like deeper reds. You know those memes out there where, you know, someone's doing a winged eyeliner and it just gets bigger and bigger as they're trying to fix it and they end up with this like crazy ass wing? That's me with lip liner. on my lower lip line. I feel like I'm always trying to like even it out, and I end up with this like really overdrawn lip. But here we are. I love this color. It really is. It's so interesting. It's so unique because it's kind of a cool toned berry, but not in a purpley way. You know what this shade actually reminds me of? It's all coming to me now. You know that it's the cream lipstick matte version from Clé de Peau. It's in the shade Cordyline. Cordyline is the name of the shade. And it's like this. It's a berry tone, but there's a coolness to it, but it's not purpley. That one I think has a little bit more coolness to it, but it's very, very similar. And it's such a unique shade. I remember putting that on and I was like, wow, this is so different. It's such a dark, bold red color, but it doesn't feel like in your face. There's something kind of subdued about it all at the same time. Well, that is, I have other new makeup. I was gonna say that's all the new makeup I have today. That is a lot of the new makeup that I've been wanting to try today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll have everything linked down below in my description box. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.